It's a small batch, handmade hot sauce made especially for you. You can find it at www.trygreatwhite.com. It's also sponsored by South Florida Allied Health, located in Boca Raton, Florida, specializing in men's health, women's health, medical weight loss, IV therapy infusion, testosterone therapy, and hormone replacement therapy. Florida residents only.
Well, here we are, episode 107. And on this episode, we have a full house tonight. Jack's back, along with the Wrecking 2, Mark Smith and Lou Calicchio from the Relish Podcast. We'll go a little outside the box tonight. We're going to talk about instrumentals. Yeah. They have their list, I have my list. We have our list, and we are all together. I know. Anyway. So sit back, relax, enjoy this summer night, and see, maybe you have some instrumentals that pop into your head. See if they're the same as ours. Enjoy the show.
The KOFB studio presents Milk Crates and Turntables, a music discussion podcast hosted by Scott McLean. Now, let's talk music. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Amanda, for that wonderful introduction as usual. Young Amanda is getting ready to go back to college soon for her second year. And yeah. So anyways, welcome to the podcast. You know the name, I'm not going to say it. We're streaming live right now over Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, D-Live, and yeah, you know, others, I think. I don't know. So, yeah, tonight we're going to talk about some instrumentals. And there's a lot. And, you know, I picked a few. Yeah, I don't think it's another one of these topics where I don't think you can go wrong. But I'm sure me and Jack will disagree on something. Yeah, we always do. Speaking of Jack.
Hey, how are you, man?
Yeah. What, you got a hair in your mouth?
It's not mine. It must have flew over from my back.
Okay. Jack takes his shirt off. He looks like George the Animal Steel.
No, he doesn't. Thank Christ.
He does. He's like a walking Brillo pad. It's unbelievable.
Dude, you need me to take my shirt off right now?
When he gets out of the pool, he shakes off like a fucking sheepdog. Fucking fur, everything.
How's it going, man?
It's going good. Good. Yeah.
So I don't know if you can tell behind me, I'm tearing up my studio. So I'm trying to create a new setup. I built a desk, and I have an arm coming for my mic and a bunch of different stuff. We're gonna repaint the room. Everything's going on. It's hell in here right now.
What prompted this?
You know what? The room was starting to get cluttered, and the room hasn't been painted, I kid you not, in probably 15 years or so. You know, this was Vanessa's.
But yet you paint in the room.
Well, I paint in the room. I just don't want to paint the room.
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
I do this, Scott. I don't do this.
Don't you think?
Although I do a little of this.
Hey, easy now. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I was looking at the calendar. I'm going to be... Oh, shit. All right. So next Wednesday is the 5th. That's when I'll be coming back from St. Augustine. So there will be a show next week. Yeah. I don't know if you'll be here. But you know who'll be here? Mark Smith and Lou Calicchio, the Wrecking 2 from the Music Relish Podcast. Yeah.
Hey, why don't we
Music
take
Relish
some
show.
of why don't we
Show.
take some of that sponsorship money and get Lou a light?
I got more lights than I have to do with. This room is unlightable.
You have no idea the chain more changes than Lon Chaney. This guy with his background.
I'm in
telling
France
you
now.
that
I see.
Well, I'm in
He's in
Paris.
France. It's nighttime, evidently.
Yes, it is.
It's nighttime in Paris.
you see the comments on the Music Relish show. Worst lit porno ever.
I get
no
progressively drunker through the show.
Yeah. And then you got Mark, who's got the door behind him, the mystery door behind him.
That's his crawl space.
The escape. That's his bedroom.
When I can't take the world, I just crawl in there.
He gets sent to his bedroom.
It's where Danny DeVito lives.
Yeah. So let's get into it. I came across this today, so we're going to start off with a couple of articles. I just wanted to touch on them. This one, it's basically titled, I think, Steve Howe recalls the hellish side to Yes's Rock Hall induction. Did you know anything about this? Any of you?
I didn't read it. I saw the headline, but didn't read it.
So,
It was
How hellish
sad
was it?
because Chris Squire had already died.
Yeah.
You know?
but it's a little different. It says Steve Howe said there was a hellish side to Yes's induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2017, but he refused to go into much detail. In a new interview with Classic Rock, the guitarist also explained why he didn't think it was likely that any previous members of the band, notably singer John Anderson, would return in the future. Quote, the further I got from it, the more speechless I get about those couple of days, Howe said, of the induction event, which included several former bandmates, including Anderson. Quote, there's much I could tell you, but I'm not going to. Basically, there was a hellish side to it. It was like skating on ice, but you've never skated before. I don't want to decry it, but there were problems. He added, quote, there was a bit of pushing and shoving going on. It was very unusual, right? The Union lineup had been selected, and it was fortunate that the original keyboard player, Tony Kaye, was on that tour. Some people got their due respect, others didn't. Howe noted that the Union era experience was one reason why he felt the band's current lineup couldn't be augmented with any past bandmates. It was very, very difficult and out of control, he said of Yes's early 90s era, which included 8 past members from across the band's career. Quote, sometimes I might have thought, well, one day maybe, and one never wants to say never, but basically I can't see it. I love John, he said. I'm a lot older now, and so is he. And then it just goes on. But I found that interesting that these old guys, sounds like they were throwing down.
They don't get along.
Evidently.
Did you see them on the Union tour? Did you happen to see that tour?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I saw them last year.
It was a stage in the center of the arena going around, and it was in the round. It spun. Howe was on one side of the stage. Trevor Rabin was on the other, and they never went near each other. Every other member of the band would kind of walk over to each other. I love that tour. That was great. But yeah, Howe is very possessive of his role as a guitar player.
I guess so.
Amazing guitar player, though.
Yeah.
He's
I'm a
incredible.
Raven guy. Yeah.
You're a Raven guy?
Yeah, I like them both, but I really have a soft spot for Rabin.
Man,
I'm
Mark,
an 80s guy, you know?
Mark's the yes guy in this group.
Hey.
So, Lou, are you a yes fan?
I like them. I'm not a big fan, but I
Right.
thought their reincarnation I thought was pretty interesting.
I love Lou's response right there. It was like, hey, do you like liver and Brussels sprouts? Yeah, but I like them.
I can eat them.
Yeah, I like them. Yeah.
I do like the early roundabout period of yes. I thought that album Tempest Fugit. Now the what was it called, Mark? The one
Drama.
Drama. I thought that was a good album.
Great album.
Yeah.
And that's so I think not being such a diehard fan of the early period, I was open to the changes. But Steve Howe is a great guitar player.
Lou, that was
Fantastic.
the first tour that I saw. Yes.
Oh really? Okay, cool.
Was with the guys from the Buggles.
The Buggles, yeah.
So Trevor Horn stepped in and sang lead for John Anderson.
Yeah.
And that also was in the round, but everybody cut.
Yeah, they did a couple of tours in the round, didn't they? More than a couple.
A lot of them.
Yeah,
they did.
I thought so.
That was kind of their thing for a long time.
That's why I saw them, so it completed my A to Z, but I was kind of blurry on. I remember something in the round, and I'm like, was that a Yes concert? I don't know. So, okay, we get that out of the way.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Bill Bruford or Alan White?
I used to be a Bruford guy, and then I grew to like Alan White. He was a little more steady, but I still love Bruford.
He's more of a rockin' drummer.
Yeah.
Bill Bruford.
Yeah, they're a little bit different, but man, both of them very accomplished.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Alan White's career, even before Yes,
Right.
That's
John
a
Lennon.
big John Lennon hits, yeah.
Yep.
Imagine album, yeah.
I was never a big Yes fan, so that's a little out of my realm. I like their music, but I never went out of my way to, like, I had their albums, but they were kind of a middle of the road band for me.
You didn't like Topographic Oceans, 4 songs across 2 albums?
No, evidently not. So this next topic, we're not going to get into the instrumentals yet because Jack and I had 40 years ago tonight, we took a trip, me and Jack, and about, 20 other people that were just in our caravan, let alone the other 25 that were in other caravans, going to see U2 at their very first arena show, right?
Headliner
arena show.
Jeez, we're gonna tell this fucking story again.
Yeah, we are, because that's the night I got on stage with U2.
Ah, yes.
And had Bono on my shoulders. Yes. Jack had an opportunity to be with us, but me and my friend Johnny Cash, we rumbled up to the front row. I lost him somewhere in that chaos, and I was up there most of the show, right at the stage. And this is before they had barriers, right? You could literally, your fingers are right on the edge of the stage. And,
by the way, for the record, guys, this would not be the last time that Scott would pick up a guy.
Okay, I'm keeping score here.
When you say on your shoulders, which direction?
Yeah. So in other words, I had Bono's balls on the back of my neck. Okay.
Scott came off the stage, his whole back
Sweaty
was
concert
soaking
balls.
wet.
Yeah. That's all right. You didn't. You didn't come off the stage.
No, but yeah, you know what? One of the things that I really love about that, and guys, you can probably jump on the internet, but there's a bootleg of that show out there somewhere on CD. So it has like the track listings like they always do on the back. Yeah. And the second to last track, I think it says, "I Will Follow" with Bono on Fan's shoulder.
It's on the that's on the set list thing too. If you go to set lists, right? Is that the website?
Yeah.
I'd
have to go. Yeah, it might be on there as well.
So you were the one that actually pointed that out to me, Jack.
Yeah.
In Mark Talent was it.
Trust me, I didn't want to point that out to you. so guys, Lou, Mark.
Yeah.
One of the things about that, like when it happened, I was like, "Holy God!" So it was amazing. It was not a sold out show, but pretty respectable for their first stadium show. Saw Scott up there, and I said, "Holy fucking shit! We're gonna hear this story."
Yeah. Train, hold on. All right, we missed it. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I said we are going to hear this story for the next 40 fucking years, and here we are on the day 40 years later.
Yeah,
glad to be here for that.
Yes.
How about the fact it was 40 years?
40 years.
That's great, though. That's great. And
you're
still friends. I'm shocked.
It was one of those really just amazing nights from start to finish. Mini caravan, drinking the whole way out there, goofing off with a little tailgating. Back then we weren't sophisticated enough to actually do, grills and food and that type of thing.
Yeah.
We would just pound in beers and went in, and it was
there's a little more than beer inside of me that night.
Yeah, it was a blast. Like that was back in the day where I literally went to the ticket window and said, I need 20 tickets to U2 at the Worcester Centrum.
Yeah. And there were 1150 floor seats, 1150.
1150.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Don Law was the one who pulled this off, right? I'm just going to take a piece out of the article. It says Don Law, pioneering concert promoter and current president of Live Nation New England, was responsible for booking U2 at the Centrum. He said, quote, "We made the first arena offer to U2 in America at the Worcester Centrum. People would say maybe it was Madison Square Garden or the LA Forum. Nope, it was Worcester Centrum." Law said recently, quote, "The date in 1983 was their very first arena date anywhere. They obviously added dates later, but we were the first. Not only did the Centrum show that they could fill the arena, so I think it was sold out, right?
I don't know if it was sold out, but it was pretty full.
More importantly, it showed that U2 could play to an arena without losing any of the intimacy, energy, or magic that they shared with the audience when they played in smaller clubs or modest-sized theaters. And that guy that jumped up on stage at the end of the show was pretty fucking awesome too. Whoa! Don Law! Don Law remembers.
What a well-written article. That's
yeah.
Especially that end part.
Look at that.
The other things that they don't mention, or he doesn't mention in that article, is that so first arena show headlining. Second of all, they actually presented the band with their first gold album for War.
Yep.
At the show?
And at the show, right on stage.
Yep.
And that also, when they did Sunday Bloody Sunday, they had found a guy that was playing violin on the street, and they brought him up to play the violin part.
Oh, nice.
Just kind of the background. A homeless violin busker.
So I wasn't the first one to go on stage, though, that night. So earlier in the show, he had brought up some girls to sing Party Girl, right? And now they had Oriental rugs all over the stage, right? So they brought them up on stage. There was like 4 girls, and it had to be non-alcoholic champagne because, well, who knows? It was 83. They all had the champagne. He pours in the champagne, and he's singing Party Girl, and this. And out of nowhere, this fucking girl takes out a pair of handcuffs and handcuffed herself to his boot. Yeah, and he was like, "What the?" And I don't know how they got it off, but she cuffed herself to his boot, and that's what kind of show it was. There's no security, no issues, no problems. Like they just said, let them do what they do, let the fans do what they do, and it worked out great for me. Yeah,
you're part of history.
I'm part of history, and we cannot. You know what, Jack? Somebody on Facebook posted a picture from that show, right? And it's from the up top looking down, and it's the edge, right? He was on, as you were facing it, the right side of the stage, and as the picture goes over, it just cuts off right as it goes over to the middle. So I was potentially 10 people away from being in that picture. Because his speakers, I could tell his speakers were facing up, and the part of the stage I jumped on didn't have any speakers. It was in the middle, pretty much.
Yeah.
So close, but no cigar. We're still trying to, every once in a while, try to track something down. I don't know if it'll ever come on.
I've inquired through a bunch of people,
I give Jack a lot of credit. Jack has been searching. It's like for years he's been telling me he has been searching more than me, which is great.
There's got to be a picture of it. It's got to be. Wait,
Yeah.
when was that?
They could be, right, but it would have to be from somebody in the band or the promoters, because generally the press, they get to be up front for the first 3 songs and then they boot them out.
Yeah.
And they said when Scott did this, it was deep in the show. It was almost the end.
No, it wasn't. It was toward after the first 5 songs. I think we made our move. I was up there for a while.
What?
No,
what
I'm
date
saying
was this?
when you had him on your shoulders.
Oh, it was the second to last encore. It was I Will Follow, and then they always ended the show with 40. Right? And
Were you May 5th or 6th?
what are you talking about?
I'm looking at set list. I'm trying
June
to see.
28th, dude,
Oh.
today.
So yeah,
Welcome to the
May
show,
5th and
Mark.
6th.
Welcome to the show.
Attention to
Mark-
detail, Mark.
Suzanne
Mark,
says
May-
she loves you, Jack. Tell her you love her.
I love Suzanne.
There you go.
With
And I
a-
love you, Suzanne. Is that a
Love
song?
Suzanne.
Is that a Lou Reed song?
Lou Reed, say what you want.
Mark, what you're
Yeah.
looking at is May 5th and 6th was at the Orpheum,
Orpheum. Yeah, I see
and
that.
and I was at the May 6th show, and out in front of me by like 5 or 6 rows was my future wife, who still loves to
Really?
bust my balls that she had better seats than I did.
Jack, Dave Phillips says he thought you retired and moved to Alabama.
Hey, who says I'm not in Alabama?
It's the beauty of technology.
I
Yeah.
fit right in down there. You know what I'm saying?
Look at us. We're in what? We're in 4 different states. Look at see how technology is. 4 different states would do this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hey, since we're talking about this, it is kind of a goofy thing that if you know you're up close, like I've looked at a couple of things, like I know I'm in the audience, you know, I know I'm right here, and here. So my daughter was over on Saturday and she asked me what my favorite concert experiences of all time were. And the first one that I thought of was when I saw Prince at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And she said if you go to YouTube, you can actually see they actually have that entire show. So it's shot from a couple of different camera angles, but the moment in the show, 1 hour and 34 minutes, you see my big shiny bald head walk in front of the stage and stand in front of my seat. She goes, "Oh my God, that's you. I would never not be able to recognize that head or that goofy fucking walk."
What year was that you saw him?
2011.
Okay, I'm envious. Never got to see him.
2011, single seat. I was there in New York City on business by myself and got a front row seat and was, if you're like completely bored,
Yeah.
look at that show. 1 hour and 34 minutes into the show, you can see me clear as day.
You got to be
Okay.
really fucking bored to do that.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, you don't really need to be bored. It's worth watching that concert.
Right,
It's unbelievable.
Well, then I'll wait till it gets to the 1 hour and then I'll fast forward.
Prickly
Then I'll
Pete.
fast forward. All right, gentlemen, let's get to it. Let's get into some instrumentals. I can't wait to see what you guys have. I know
Hey,
you guys
before
we
we do
all
that,
have. Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Do you guys still read, like when you were younger? I mean, if you were like me, and I don't know if Scott did or not. Do you guys always read like the rock fan magazines?
Sure.
Yeah,
I was a circus
What did you read?
guy.
What did you read?
Circus.
Circus?
That was mine.
Cream.
Cream, Rolling Stone,
Rolling Stone. Yep.
Crawdaddy.
Spin, Crawdaddy. So today
Rolling
in my
Stone.
mailbox, I got
Musician.
my latest edition of Rolling Stone magazine.
Mine should be here any day.
It's tougher to read. You know, there are definitely more and more people that I don't really know.
Yeah.
But this edition of Rolling Stone has a couple of great articles. One, it talks about the resurgence and the reincarnation or reimagination of Tina Turner. And there's also an article, Mick Mars, kind of tells his side of the story and the whole Motley
cool.
Crue drama. So
Yeah.
very, very cool. It's funny. I think I've had a Rolling Stone subscription for 35, 40 years.
I've had mine since I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought every issue. I haven't bought any magazines in a while. What were the local ones that you guys had? We had the Aquarian, then it became the EC Rocker,
East Coast Rocker.
East
Great
Coast
magazine.
Rocker.
Yeah.
You guys had some little
So
local ones.
we had the Boston Phoenix that definitely went well beyond music. But then there was, do you remember Sweet Potato, Scott?
No.
That was actually a free one, but it was more the local Boston scene.
Right. No, I don't.
That one was pretty cool.
Yeah. You used to venture down to Newbury Comics. That's where you would get a lot of your imports, right? Jack?
Yeah. Newbury Comics worked there for a very short period of time. There was a very attractive cashier up front by the name of Amy Mann. I don't know if you've ever heard of her or not.
Yeah,
she just sang on that Rush song, didn't she? Yeah.
That was the one thing. But, by the way, just for the record, I tried to talk up Amy Mann. She knew where she was going. and she knew I wasn't going with her.
It was kind of a love in a vacuum, huh, Jack? Love in a vacuum.
Love in a vacuum. Yeah, it sucked. Did you hear about our girl Madonna today?
No.
So she
looks like fucking Madam from that puppet. That fucking remember the dude in the
Madam with Waylon?
Waylon and Madam.
She
looks like now. Yeah.
Oh,
with her fake hips and
So it says.
Can you get fake hips?
Yeah, fake ass. Yeah.
I know fake ass. You can actually get fake hips.
Oh,
hip
like
implants.
Who knows?
So there's a handful of us that were actually going to go see Madonna. So Deb and a bunch of her friends and whatnot. But the article, and I won't read all of it. It says earlier this month, according to page 6, Madonna was found unresponsive and then rushed into an intensive care unit of a New York hospital. Madonna's manager, Gary Oseri, announced that the singer would be postponing her celebration tour, an international retrospective concert series that was originally supposed to kick off in Vancouver on July 15th. So that tour got moved and or postponed, but I guess she was pretty messed up.
Unresponsive?
Wouldn't go see her now.
She had apparently she had some type of weird bacterial infection.
Ooh.
Yeah, probably from too many injections.
Implanted things.
Yeah. I wouldn't go see her now. I wouldn't. Even if somebody gave me a ticket, I wouldn't go see her.
Do you think she's singing at this point?
I think so.
Do you think she was ever singing?
She doesn't really sing though. She just goes strike a pose. Yeah. I think she's singing.
I think back in the day she did. I saw her. She did a tour about 7 years ago, maybe, and they were fucking killing her on that one. She was like an old lady trying to like climb upstairs, and they like shredded her.
Like Bruce Springsteen now.
But it just doesn't even look like her anymore. Like I wouldn't go see it just because it's not like it doesn't look like her.
Yeah.
Bruce looks
if she was older and she aged gracefully and she just kind of rolled with it a little bit. But this whole fucking injections and the cheekbones and the butt implants and the
she's 62 years old.
We don't need it. We don't need it.
She doesn't have to do that.
She's Italian. She shouldn't need that. She has that Mediterranean skin.
She shouldn't have to do that. Yeah.
And I'm Irish. I'm naturally pale. So.
Look at Jack. He's Italian. He's from northern Italy, evidently.
That's the lights.
Really?
The classy.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jack,
I'm
speaking of
dirty people.
It is glaring a little bit, isn't it?
What's he doing?
Jack and I mentioned
I had a heavy light on me.
He's banging his microphone that he's not even talking into. I mean, Jesus.
Jack and I mentioned Bruce Springsteen looking like a doddering old man on stage. Now.
Woody Allen.
It's not even the Woody
What
Allen.
about John Mellencamp? I posted some videos recently of like Billy Idol, John Mellencamp. John Mellencamp with his grandpa long pockets fucking pants on.
He still smokes a pack a day at least.
Fucking yeah.
But after five heart attacks.
He's got the suspenders.
In one day.
Yeah, he's got the suspenders and his fucking the high waist long pockets.
He's got tit pants on.
Jesus, yeah. Yeah. Billy Idol was okay, but Iggy Pop looked like a fucking old leather jacket.
It was
ridden hard and put away wet.
It was E.T. on tour.
Jesus. Iggy. Hey, listen, God bless Iggy, though. Listen, Iggy can't do wrong. That guy cannot do wrong. No, what a career, right? Talk about marching to your own drummer.
Yeah. How much money did he make from those vacation commercials that use Lust for Life?
I'm sure he got it. I'm sure he got a nice penny for that.
He got a big check for that. Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Did the punk sell out?
Well, he was also the voice on Rugrats. He was one of the voices on Rugrats too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He was the father, I think. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go back and look. There's an Iggy Pop documentary out right now, and I can't remember who they were interviewing. It may have been an artist or a novelist or somebody like that, where he had actually called Iggy Pop and made comments about his music and whatnot. And he said, "Hey, at some point we really should get together." And Iggy said, "Why?" I love that. Why?
Let me see. All right, so let's get into this. Let's jump right into instrumentals. I'm gonna jump in with an all-time classic. This song, the first time I heard this song, I thought it was probably one of the greatest things I've ever heard, and I've never stopped loving this song. And I was watching American Graffiti, right? I was a kid, and fucking they put on Green Onions, right? And I had never heard that song before, and it was absolutely blew me away. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about that. Maybe the keyboard in there. He actually, what's his name? Booker T. Jones, right? That was his name, Booker T. Jones.
And the MGs.
Yep. But Booker T. Jones is the Booker T of the MGs, right?
Yep.
He wrote that organ part on a Hammond when he was 17. And it just sat on it. And this recording, which is mostly improvised in the studio, he just threw that in there, that thing. And it's just, I mean, if it's...
The whole song is a groove. It's a steady groove.
It's just a groove.
It's just a groove, yeah.
Yeah.
Great groove.
Oh, it's timeless.
I think that's the great Al Jackson on drums.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of an unsolved murder too. He was murdered.
Look at Mark.
Mark.
He pulls up the Green Onions. Look
On
at that.
Stax Records. Yep.
Johnny,
Stax
Look
Records.
at that. Is that an LP?
He's got a
That's
record.
an LP.
Nice.
Put it on.
Yeah.
I got to get up again. I'm not in that good shape.
No, you'll get YouTube will pull the video down.
Yeah, right. But no, the official. I bought it at a garage sale for 50 cents.
That's awesome.
Nice. But is it a first print?
I have no idea, but it is on Stax. So
Go on Discogs. They'll tell you.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, Lou, give us a song, Lou. Give us a song.
Okay, I got one. Grazing in the Grass, Hugh Masekela. The cowbell.
Yeah.
Hugh Masekela was a South African trumpeter. That was a number one tune, I think, maybe in '67 or '68.
That's a good song.
Yeah, it's a great song. You hear that's an oldies station classic. Hugh Masekela was the trumpet player on the Byrds, So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star. He played the horn on that. But that's a song. I mean, what was our oldies station in New York? Was it CBS 101, Mark?
Yeah.
Cousin
Brucey.
Cousin Brucey.
Yeah.
But I used to hear that all the time.
That's a good song.
There might be some other versions of that too. Actually, the Friends of Distinction did one with vocals. I can dig it, she can dig it, we can dig it. Can you dig it, baby?
Wow,
pretty damn good.
Thank you.
Lou,
that was
Lou,
really
the
good.
doctor.
That was really, really good.
The doctor.
I practiced that one.
There you go, Jack. Give us a song.
Well, before I give you a song, I have a couple of questions. I wonder if you guys kind of had the same thoughts. When Scott told me that we were going to be doing instrumentals, I asked my wife and a couple of friends. We were sitting out on the back deck last night, and we had a little bit of a debate that I wonder if you guys wanted to weigh in on. Sure. First off, when you talk about instrumentals, if there were any vocals in the song at all, does it eliminate it?
I think sometimes it should. I agree.
Yeah.
If they're just singing melodies, no. If they sing words, yeah. But
so you saying "Great Dig in the Sky" is an instrumental?
So what about "Rock and Roll" by Gary Glitter? Is that an instrumental?
Hey, I mean,
that's a good question, dude.
It is, but I wouldn't. Now, when they published the song, was there like words and lyrics by, or is it just music by some pedophile? You know?
Yeah.
Serious pedophile. Yeah, I know.
So,
that's like
what about
the Beatles flying.
Yeah, maybe something a little bit more respectable. And I may have the title of this wrong, but what was the one that was on Stax or Atlantic? Sweet Soul Stew or something like that. You know what song I'm talking about?
Not
Now
sure.
shake. Well, but I mean, by and large, I think it was King Curtis.
Yeah,
But that was mostly an instrumental track. But
Yeah.
there's a bunch of them out there where you have little bits of vocals that I'm not sure if they count as instrumentals.
I know what you mean. I know what
I
you
think
mean.
it's the
'cause
amount of vocals. I mean, Scott's right
Or-
about Grazing in the Sky is not an instrumental, obviously.
or if it shouts the title. I got one on my list. It's it's considered a big instrumental, but it's got the title of it is sung.
And all right,
So-
give it to us. It doesn't matter what
It is the bar case soul finger. Soul finger.
Finger.
No, they said if they say lyrics, then
Well, that's the whole thing. But it's considered an instrumental. I looked on several different lists. Cool trivia fact: that trumpet player, the sole survivor of the plane crash that killed Otis Redding.
oh,
The only guy that
look
made it,
at
yeah.
Rose. See.
Wow.
Everybody else leave the show. Just fucking leave now.
Do not put Jack in the
myself in
penalty
the
box. He warned you last time about that.
So
Quote unquote,
can I
do
ask?
not put me in the penalty box.
Can I ask a follow-up question?
Sure.
Sure.
Eruption, Spanish Fly. Are they instrumentals or guitar
Yeah.
solos?
Absolutely, they are. That was
Instrumentals,
one of
I
Phil
consider
Kelly's
them.
choices.
Is there any
Eruption.
utterances in there?
Is there any what?
Any utterances and
No.
no. So yeah, definitely.
No.
You know what I mean? I think of Spanish Fly, which is what, maybe 1 minute and 30 seconds
Yeah.
long.
Yep.
an
I
instrumental.
struggle with calling that an instrumental. To me, that's a guitar solo.
It's a song.
It's-
He wrote. It's a piece.
It's a little snippet, and I love it. Don't get me wrong.
Right,
It's
right.
it's an instrumental.
Yeah.
What are you eating?
Mangoes.
These people that are listening, thank God they don't have to see that.
You can watch.
Whale
So,
banana
I'm
A
comes
tree
gonna
in my backyard puts out the fucking best mangoes.
Nice.
Dude,
I'm
my
gonna
wife
go,
will drive
Homegrown
down there.
mangoes. Rich in vitamin C.
What, Jack?
I'm gonna go. Great guitar play. One of my favorite instrumentals is by Eric Johnson, "The Cliffs of Dover."
Yes. I had
Great,
that on there.
great song.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guitar solos. Yeah, I have some on mine too.
That's a song though, and that was
That's-
all over the radio. Remember
Yeah,
that?
that's definitely a song. It was a huge hit for him,
Yeah.
and it was joyful. That's a happy, bouncy-go-lucky song. But the guitar playing in that tune is just ridiculous.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
What do you got, Mark?
All right, so I was going to start off with the obvious, but I'm going to go with something a little weird. I'm going to go with Sunday Afternoon in the Park from Van Halen. Remember that song?
Yeah.
We had a club. I love that song. And we had a club in New York called L'Amour's, and they use that as their bed music for their ads. So you'd hear
Jesus, Mark, wow.
Saturday at L'Amour's, TT Quick,
TT Quick.
the Good Rats.
Holy shit, the
Rat
Good
Race
Rats, great
Squire.
band. Good Rats were good.
But it's just the evil sounding. It's Eddie fooling around with something. And that's what I love about it. It's sick sounding. Could be 5 minutes. I'd love it.
I'm going to jump in with, I think this is my favorite instrumental of all time, which is a pretty bold statement. But I have to say, from 1974, Kool and the Gang, started by Robert Kool Bell and his brother Ronald Bell. Summer Madness.
Okay, yeah.
They played that in Rocky.
Wow.
Yeah, that was background music in Rocky.
Yeah.
Great song. As of 2018, there's been over 145 recordings that have sampled that one song. It's one of the most sampled songs of all time.
They were a funky band in their day, man.
Oh, Kool and the Gang with the
They were
shit.
slick.
That's
that
some
was on
New
Soul
Jersey
Train.
funk there, right?
Yeah. Some of the guys made an appearance at my family's roller rink. during
Really?
the disco
Oh,
heyday,
no
yeah.
kidding. Wow.
Altoon Jr., Ronald Bell wasn't there, and so I don't know who the other guys were. They were quite cool.
Was Kool there?
Kool was not there.
So it was just the gang.
Evelyn Champagne King was there once.
Ooh, Shame.
cool.
Shame.
Yeah.
She was a teenager. She
Wow.
was like 16, 17.
Yeah, she was a good-looking woman too.
Yeah. She's on LinkedIn.
Evelyn Champagne King. Oh,
She better
Jack.
hide.
Stalker.
no, that's you missed the whole thing. Lou let us know that his dating app is LinkedIn, and he only goes through executives,
I'm off that.
only upper levels.
Hey, he wants somebody that's gainfully employed.
He's
Or at
off of
least-
that now. He
or-
found
or
his
at least-
executive.
Executives.
Or at least looking.
More gainfully employed than me.
All right, who's next?
I think Lou is.
Wow, this is a rock one. My favorite of all time. My favorite rock instrumental, YYZ by Rush. Don't air drum to that ever. Right? Come on.
Why?
Because you
Break a
can't help
wrist.
it. You do that right. Your car window, you'll just put a window out. It's got a great beat for one. It's just got a great rhythm.
How do guys like that, like Neil Peart? I mean, why didn't he have carpal tunnel syndrome? And if he did, how come he didn't?
Well,
Yeah,
when they
but
retired,
like early, like it's just such an aggressive drum. Like it took a long time for that to develop. But
it did. The guy hit hard though. He was a hard hitting. I mean, you see those videos of him, from behind him. He's not shy at all.
The mid '80s, Hold Your Fire, Power Windows. He was a monster on those albums.
Yeah.
Just so you'd see the kit would be shaking when he was playing.
Oh yeah.
I think the '80s is when he really got discovered by more than just Rush fans.
Yeah.
As a great drummer.
Yeah.
Scott, were you a big Rush guy? Did you ever see them in concert?
I didn't see them in concert. No, that's one of my. That's one of my.
I would imagine Lou and Mark, you guys
regrets.
must have seen them multiple times.
I
I've
went
seen it
every
3 times.
tour. I went every
Yeah.
tour from when I was in high school, Power Windows, up until Presto, and then I lost track of them. And then thank God I got to see them on the last few tours, but not the last.
Yeah.
They were
great shows.
they were always good. They were always good.
Yeah.
Always on. I don't remember if anyone opened up for them. I saw them the first time was on the Signals tour. I saw
They
2
always-
shows there, and I saw it once at Power Windows.
They used to always have opening acts, and they would usually use the same guys. So like in the Power Windows days, it was Marillion would open up, and
Max Webster.
Saga, Max Webster, Saga.
Webster.
Saga.
Yeah.
Saga.
Tonight we're on the
No
loose.
one will stop
But
you now.
What they did that I liked is in the mid '90s they said forget the opening act, and they went to like a 3-hour show, and it's like the last 5-6 tours they did, you got your money's worth. You got a full show, and it was really worth it. Almost as long as a Dead show.
Last time I saw them, I got shitty tickets. I thought we were behind the band, but I said I got to watch Neil just do everything he did. Like, it was like a tutorial.
That's
But, they swung around that kind of thing, but a lot of the show was off in that angle. But that's when he first incorporated electronics in. He had the Simmons kit behind him, and then his acoustic kit, so he would swivel around. So at one point, you got to see him face first.
nice.
But they're incredible. But they said,
are.
Jack, they were always good. Has anyone ever seen a bad Rush show that you ever heard
No,
of?
one of the shows I saw was at the Garden State Arts Center, Lou, and there was a hurricane, a tropical storm coming in, and we're all watching the show. Alex, that's the show my cousin got me third row for. I was third row in front of Getty. Alex kept coming over to Getty's side of the stage because the Garden State Arts Center was like one of those, it's outdoor with the grass, but then the reserved seats were under a roof. Alex kept coming over and looking up at the sky, seeing how it was doing. He was preoccupied. He wanted to get out. They still put on a great show. I mean, even that, he was just playing his heart out, and great camaraderie. They love each other. You know?
The greatest Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction speech ever was Alex Larson.
Yeah, they didn't like it too much, did they?
No.
Didn't like it at all, as a matter of
I
fact.
loved it. I loved it. I mean, is it ever going to stop?
Jack, give me another one.
So I'm not very happy with Thomas Bendowall Jr. because he stole exactly what I was going to say.
Hey, that's my cousin. That's my cousin who got me the Rush tickets.
Hey, he. You know what? I'm so glad that he said it. I'm glad that somebody remembers it. But when I was a kid, the Edgar Winter Group were the shit.
Well, they only came out at
Frankenstein.
night was the album, right? That was the album.
Yeah, I mean that was their one album. And does anybody remember who their guitar player was?
Rick Derringer.
Rick Derringer.
Rick Derringer,
yeah.
rock and roll hoochie coo.
Yeah.
But even Scott, you probably don't remember this, but even when we used to do the house parties down in my basement, Frankenstein was a staple of the Calabrese.
That was a staple of a lot of parties. Yeah. But do you know how they came up with the name Frankenstein?
How did they come up with the name Frankenstein? Did they name the song after Eddie Van Halen's guitar? No.
So there's actually two stories, maybe similar. How stories about songs get mixed up a little bit. So one is it's made up of different jam sessions that the band had done in the studio, and they kind of said, "Hey, let's just piece this together," right? And then they call it a Frankenstein. The other story is it comes from a 20-minute long track that they just went into this fucking mega jam session. And then they chopped it up and they said there was tape all over the studio. Like this section's over here, this section was over here. And that's how they pieced it together and called it Frankenstein. Either way, it's made up of different parts of either a jam or multiple jams.
They splice together and make an arrangement.
Yeah, then you get Frankenstein, and it's fucking epic.
But
synthesizers, buddy. Fucking synthesizers.
Well, yeah, not only synthesizers, but it hung around his, he had it strapped around his neck.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
So here's my question: has that song actually aged well? When was the last time you actually listened to it?
Not too long ago. It sounds great.
Sounds great.
Oh yeah.
There you go, Lou. There you go, Lou.
Test of time.
Yeah. Oh, it does absolutely.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you have loved a band like Van Halen trying to cover that tune?
Oh yeah.
That would be interesting.
Sure.
That's actually
that would have been way fun.
I was the Van Halen they should have done a whole album of covers, a double, because I thought they were a great covers band. They did them so unique.
Diver Down, great album.
Yeah. Now, did they need the permission to use the word Frankenstein?
I don't think so. I think it's
the novel was named that.
Yeah. I never heard of any legal issues with the name.
Have you seen
because Frankenstein is a name? It could be anybody's name.
Right, this is true. Yeah.
Have
you seen the meme with Frankenstein with the guitar saying the song's called Edgar Winter?
No.
Oh shit! I think I have. Yeah.
Good.
yeah. That's. I think I have.
The song's called Edgar Winter.
Mark, what do you got?
I'm going to go with, they have so many instrumentals, and it's one of my favorite bands, but I'm going to go with Hoedown by ELP because it's a concise 4-minute song. You've heard it, right? Hoedown?
Yep.
Hoedown, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
They had a couple of really good instrumentals.
I got like 10 instrumentals on here from them, so I had to pick one. I'm looking, That one, the drumming on that is good. Even though Carl Palmer goes off beat, as he always does in the songs. About halfway through, you hear him kind of lose it. But just a great interpretation of a classical piece, as they did so many times.
So how many people do you think noticed that?
Not many.
You know what I mean? That notice it, the offbeat stuff.
There's
right?
2 songs that drive me crazy, and Lou knows the other one. I was complaining on our show about Living in the USA. The drummer slows down towards the end. It drives me crazy. You were saying that. Yeah, but Perry said maybe he meant to do it. And I'm like, nah, he sounded like he was playing really hard. He started to tire out.
But don't you think they would pick that up in the studio and say, hey, that's the producer, the engineer,
unless it was intentional or there's some reason to bring a certain section down.
I don't think they would let something that blatant go.
Don't you guys?
Was that Boss Skaggs on drums?
No, he didn't play. No,
he played bass, didn't he?
He played guitar and sang. What did he sing on? What did he do in the Steve Miller Band?
He was only in the first album, I think, right?
I thought he sang. I used to think he sang "Live in the USA," but I don't think he does. That's Steve Miller.
No, it's Steve Miller.
That's definitely Steve Miller.
Did you ever see Steve Miller?
Nope.
No.
I have, yeah.
I saw him back up Journey.
Yeah, he's all right.
Saw them back up Journey. Yeah.
I never minded Steve Miller.
Yeah, and then comes Abracadabra, and Steve jumped the fucking shark, buddy. Jumped the fucking shark.
He didn't write that, though.
He made Fonzie look good.
Actually, on that album,
the drummer wrote that song.
Yeah, well, he should have let the drummer sing it.
That song wasn't so bad. Did you ever hear the B-side? It's an 18-minute song called Macho City. That's horrible. That's one of the worst atrocities ever committed to vinyl. Wow. 18 minutes.
I think he's re-recorded some of those songs. I've been hearing like more acoustic versions, but I thought Book of Dreams was a good record. That's a pretty neat song.
Does Steve Miller
Yeah.
Does he belong in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
just
come on,
ask.
longevity. He's got a string of hits. You know, he used to sell out football stadiums in the late 70s.
Yeah.
I think
Stadium Rock. Yeah.
Perry saw him in Journey. It was Steve Miller Band, Journey, someone else at the opening of the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Their
Frank
inaugural
Marino,
concert.
I think.
Frank Marino and
yeah.
Mahogany Rush.
Frank Marino and Mahogany Rush. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Hey guys, I got to check this message. Keep talking though. I'm not joking. I have to check.
Well, wait a minute. Hey, Scott, before you check that message, were you asking, does he belong? Because he's already in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I meant does he belong in the? That's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know he was in. Well, good.
All right, Jack. Another song.
He's in. He bitched and complained that he.
That's right.
Had to pay $10,000 for tickets for people
or for guests or something. Yeah.
Yeah. He really complained about it. So I'm gonna go total old school. I think this song came out in the late 50s, early 60s, whatnot. Totally off base, but I still love this instrumental. And every now and again, when I'm putting together playlists, it generally makes it. And it's called "Stranger on the Shore" by Mr. Acker Bilk.
Yep.
Do you know that song?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great song. Yeah.
Acker Bilk. Okay.
Yeah, it was Mr. Acker Bilk.
Mr. Acker Bilk. There's that great scene in Mr. Holland's Opus where he's trying to teach the girl to play clarinet, and she's working on that song and she's hacking it up, and he teaches her to really appreciate music, and she starts playing it, and then they play it in the background. It's just a great scene.
Wow, beautiful.
But I've always loved that tune. It just there's something about it that just touches my soul.
Yep.
I think Dave Phillips came up with a great one earlier, and I thought a theme from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Sure.
That whole album, I don't know if we've talked about this. I know within the last couple of months, I've mentioned this. Have you ever listened to that entire soundtrack? Like just get in your car and just put it on. It's fucking amazing.
Phenomenal.
It's oh my Lord. Like you hear them during the movie, and you never really, but when you hear them played back to back, it's like, and it puts you right in every scene. You know which scene is what, because that is the greatest Western ever made. That is an epic movie. I don't think probably even covers it. It has to be the greatest Western ever made. It's
I wonder what the critics
3 hours, like 2.5 hours, isn't it?
I don't know if it's the greatest Western that's ever made. I would argue that.
What would you say?
How the West was won.
How the West was won. How about The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance?
You can't hold that up to good.
How about the Magnificent Seven?
Yeah. That's an action movie. It is. It really is. It's like an action movie.
Wait a minute.
It was an original action movie.
The greatest Western ever?
Blazing Saddles.
By the way,
how about modern classic?
What do you mean?
Like Unforgiven?
Unforgiven is
Tombstone.
As a matter of fact, last night I found out my wife has never seen Unforgiven.
Wow.
So I told her, we're going to watch it, and I'm going to watch it for the 10th time.
Right.
How about the Outlaw Josie Wales?
Great movie.
Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah. Great
movie.
That's how they were with Pale Rider. That was that same era for.
Well, Pale Rider was actually. Do you know what Pale Rider was the sequel to? Was supposed to be the sequel to?
Nope.
High Plains Drifter. High Plains Drifter.
Wow.
The guy with no name really just comes and goes, comes out of nowhere.
He was a preacher. Was he a preacher in Pale Rider?
No, he just came out of nowhere in what did I just say? High Plains Drifter.
High Plains Drifter.
Yeah.
Which is actually
Tombstone. I love Tombstone.
Tombstone's good, but I thought Tombstone was a I don't know. It just didn't. It was a Western. It was a good Western, good movie, but I wouldn't put it up there with the greatest. It was very contrived because that whole story is just never really changes. You know?
Is Brokeback Mountain a Western?
That one scene.
It's in the West.
I've never watched that movie.
I've watched it.
Evidently, because you just grunted.
The one scene, you're like, did I just see that?
Going back to the good, the bad, and the ugly, you know who's always had an appreciation for that album in their walk-on music has been from that soundtrack for years and years is Metallica.
Yeah.
They always walk on stage to the Ecstasy of Gold by Ennio Morricone.
Ennio Morricone.
Cool.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Did you call him Ennio? What did you call him?
Ennio Morricone.
Ennio. Look at you.
Whatever.
Oh, whatever. But when I make a mistake, whoa. What did you just say? What did you just say? Can you say that again? What did you just call him?
Ennio. Onio.
See.
Hey, Lou, I'm making a good dinner after the show. You want to talk about what I'm making? They let them fight.
What are you making?
And what are you guys going to watch Brokeback Mountain while you eat dinner together?
Here we go.
Via camera. I've seen parts of it.
Yeah, Lou's only fast forwards to the tent.
Oh, God.
Back
Lou
and forth,
fast
back and
forwards
forth.
through all the dialogue.
No, that was part of it.
I lost it.
Wait, they're talking. Oh, not talking. Stop.
Mark,
What
are you making a
watching,
souffle?
dear? Nothing.
Yeah. Making a Welsh rarebit.
Whoa.
Are you really?
There you go.
No.
That would be impressive.
He's making a loin of something.
Loin of cowboy, Lou.
Marinated
Cowboy
loin of
cut.
cowboy.
Is Lou's having a cowboy cut steak?
Yeah. Rawhide.
Scott,
Okay.
to your point, the Calabrese boys, when we were kids, we used to listen to that soundtrack all the time.
That's
Loved
fucking
it.
great, man.
It's great.
So
It's
great.
really great.
So great.
Yeah.
So I got one. I have one from kind of out of left field. This one's out of left field. And we've all heard it and we all love it. The great Chuck Mangione, Feels So Good from 1977. Right?
Makes
Come
us so
on, man.
happy.
That hit number 4 on the charts in 77. Hit number 4.
Hit number 4, yeah.
Yeah, Chuck. And then they get into that jam. Now, yeah, you motherfuckers gonna listen to that tomorrow now, ain't you? Why isn't that on Yacht Rock? Why isn't that on Yacht Rock Radio?
I've heard on Yacht Rock Radio.
All right.
Yeah. It's also in the Doctor Strange movie.
I won't. Yeah, I didn't see the last one.
The first one.
Oh, okay. All right. I saw
They're
that
doing musical trivia while he's operating on somebody. So someone said that it came out in 78, and he goes, it was released in 77, which it was.
What's that?
Feels So Good.
It was released in 77.
It was a hit in 78, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
But
All
it
right.
was but technically it was released in 77.
Did you just fucking correct me, Lou?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Penalty box.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, man. That's not cool.
You were his compadre when he was giving me the thumbs down, putting me in the penalty box. Come on.
I'm both now.
And that's what I did.
You got both fingers, buddy. Got the soul finger.
Got the soul finger.
Damn.
All right, Mark, give us another one.
All right. I'm going to go with a song that I can guarantee none of you ever heard.
Oh, well, that's a bold
Now we
statement
go,
now.
That's a challenge.
All right. If I'm wrong, I'll take the heat. September 15th by Pat Metheny and Lyle Mays. Rick Beato himself on YouTube said that may have been the most beautiful song ever written. And if you play it and it's a fall day with the leaves falling down, you will get misty-eyed. It's a tribute to the great pianist. Help me, Lou. The pianist who died. I can't remember his name. Nah, wonderful.
I could have said that.
It's some of the most sublime melodies ever committed to a recording, and it's just, if you look up Rick Beato's look at it, like he just examines it, and it's awesome. And I heard it when I was 20 years old the first time. And I'm a metalhead, and I heard that, and I went, "Oh my god, that's just great!"
Right.
So,
All right. You know what, Dave Phil? I never knew Chuck Mangione played with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I didn't know that. That's good stuff.
I didn't.
That
either.
is good stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Dave Phillips, king of the 45s, comes through, stumps the experts.
Making Lou look bad.
Lou might go in the penalty box for not knowing that.
I think Lou froze up.
Is he frozen?
I thought he was just
I
listening
thought he
to
was
us.
just listening.
That's great. I got to get a picture.
He's
of this.
gone. Lou's
Oh,
gone.
he's gone.
He's gone. I thought because that's what he does. He'll just kind of stand, listen, and be
10
patient
minutes.
and listen. And
He'll be back in 10 minutes.
he'll be back in 10 minutes. Oh, shit. All right, Jack, give me another one.
I think one of the greatest instrumentals of all time, and look, I get it. Most jazz are instrumentals, but this is one that transcended genres. Was Dave Brubeck, Take 5.
Yeah.
Is a great song. Fantastic. You know, not only is it, you know, a great instrumental, but it just has great atmosphere to it.
Yes.
That's a song that you can tell was recorded in an analog studio, right?
Yeah,
it has atmosphere to it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
I
Good one.
still love that song, and will listen to it anytime it comes on the radio, and I listen to it on vinyl still quite a bit.
Yeah. Phil Kelly sent in a couple. Friend of the show, contributor. He's now considered a contributor to the show. He's not a friend of the show. Phil Kelly, contributor to the show. U2 Boomerang Part 2. Right? It's the B-side of Unforgettable Fire.
Yeah.
No, it was
That's
the
what
B-side of. I thought
what
it was
Phil
the
says.
B-side of. I thought it was the B-side of Pride.
Are you arguing
I got
with
the
fetus?
single up on my shelf.
Oh, okay. Either way.
And you know there were two versions of that song. One of them actually had vocals, although it wasn't. They weren't lyrics per se. You know, they were just kind of. They had like a chant
Textures.
behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
He also said one of the best ever, let me see, Sitting in Traffic were the best ones ever, The Pretenders, Space Invaders. That's the one song in the album that I kind of took me a little time to warm up to.
What album is that off?
The very first album, the debut album. Yeah. That, for a longest time, I kind of said that's the song that throws a wrench into the works of the perfect album. But it's one of those songs that you have to kind of get to appreciate it. And the more I listen to it, the more I appreciate it.
Yeah.
He also said, let me see, Space Invaders, he said it was used in the end of the second Cheech and Chong movie. Look at that one. Yeah. Jack didn't know that.
What's that?
Welcome to the show, Jack.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I know. What are you checking your email, watching, you looking on Facebook?
No,
What are you
I
doing?
was just so Boomerang 2
Yeah.
has I'm looking at the lyrics to it. If I
He
remember
did put a
correctly,
question mark after 2. He put a question mark
they
after
were,
2.
and just so you know, I think Phil and I are both right. It was a song that was actually composed during the Unforgettable Fire, but it did appear as the B-side to Pride.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. How about the classic? I mean, the Allman Brothers, there's a handful you could pick right just out of nowhere, but In Memory of Elizabeth Reed.
I had that on my list.
1970. Yeah. Do you know where he got that name from?
Tombstone.
Right? But what did the tombstone say?
In memory of
Elizabeth
Reed.
No, it actually said Elizabeth Jones Reed Napier. That was the full name on the headstone. Why he picked Reed out of that one probably sounded better. Yeah. At Rose Hill Cemetery in Macon, Georgia.
That song to me, that's what made them, like, people talk about Southern rock, but that's why the Allmans were not Southern. That was a jazzy song. That was
Yeah.
and it was one of the first songs I heard young of that caliber, that those chords and everything. I was playing the live at the Fillmore, and I'm like, wow, there's something here.
That's the definitive version of that song.
Yeah.
That's actually one of Dickie Betts' very first writing credits. Also, that song. Yeah.
So didn't the Allman Brothers hate the label, being a Southern rock band, and didn't they have a certain disdain for bands like Leonard Skinner?
You'd have to ask my brother Colin. He is the Allman Brothers guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is all Allman Brothers. Yeah.
I have.
But I wouldn't doubt it. I
have the history of the Allman Brothers. It's a book. I don't know if you'd call it a biography of, but in that book, it actually talked about how they did not appreciate, the Skinner guys, which I think is a mistake and a shame, because I think Leonard Skinner were a tremendous, tremendous band.
Yeah, they were.
But I don't think that they really appreciated kind of the Southern hillbilly, Confederate flag aspect of it, maybe.
Well, Greg came from a more R&B background, and right before he died, he put out a couple solo albums that he went back to that sound, that R&B flavored sound. And
well, even Dwayne, all the session work that he did at Muscle Shoals.
Yeah.
This motherfucker, Lou's watching on YouTube now.
He just wanted a beer.
He said, "You guys are great."
Lou, you can drink on the show. It's okay.
He had to jump on LinkedIn.
he got hit up on LinkedIn. He had to answer it. All right, Mark, give me another one.
I'm going to go with, I'm doing a lot of deep dives. Since you took my Elizabeth Reed, I'm going to go with Tinto Brass by Porcupine Tree. Another one I guarantee you guys haven't heard. Give it a whirl. He
loves Porcupine Tree.
What do you mean I haven't heard that? That was my wedding song.
No, they have a song called Wedding Nails. That was your wedding song.
See, look at that. Porcupine Tree, buddy. Porcupine Tree.
I've never run into anyone that knows them, so that's why I'm saying that.
There you go. That's obscurity at its best, my friend.
By the way, I'm writing all these down. I'm going to put a Spotify playlist together of all these songs.
Is there such a thing as a porcupine tree?
It came from a poem, from a book, some English book of poetry.
Okay, we can stop right there then.
Yeah.
That's good.
You want me to read it? Here, I'll read it.
That's good. I was reading a book of poetry. So I decided that I want to name my band Porcupine Tree.
Now you're picking on Steve Wilson. Don't do that.
Steve Wilson? I would never pick on Steve. You kidding me? Does he have a fabulous Apple Watch like Jack?
Hey,
all right,
Scott,
moving on.
Scott.
Hey.
You're an ABC fan, right?
I am. The Look of Love, baby.
All right, so the album Lexicon
of Love, yeah.
All right, it just got released on Blu-ray audio in 5.1 by Steve Wilson remixed.
Really?
Yeah, I might get it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good album.
He also did a Blur album just recently.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack's shaking his head. Come on, Jack, give us a song, Jack. Give us another song, please.
So this may be a more obvious one for us rock and rollers, but Jeff Beck, "'Cause We've Ended as Lovers."
Yeah.
Great.
Never heard it. I was just never a Jeff Beck fan.
That's because you like synthesizers, not guitars.
I like guitars.
You're Cynthia Lauper.
Here we go. Just rehash some old jokes, Jack.
Cynthia Lauper.
Jack the joke man. Yeah.
But what I don't get is Jeff Beck had a lot of keyboards in some of his stuff. So
I just never.
Hey,
I don't know. I can't explain it.
The reason you don't like Jeff Beck is probably why I love him. He's so different than Clapton and Page. He just was a little bit bent, You
know what I find interesting is recently I've heard a couple of interviews where they were talking about who is your favorite guitar player of all time, and almost everybody says Jeff Beck. Over Hendrix, over Eddie Van Halen, over Stevie Ray Vaughan, and it was because he was just such a dynamic player and could do anything. One of them was John Bon Jovi So Jeff Beck actually played on his solo album, and John Bon Jovi was like, I could not believe what he could do, just plugging his guitar directly into an amp, no pedals, no effects, and the sounds that he was making were just unbelievable.
He did this thing where he would hit a harmonic and pull the whammy bar to do the melody with the whammy bar. Yeah. And he played on Amused to Death by Roger Waters, and he does it on there. And Roger kept saying to him, can you do it again? And he's like, you don't understand. It takes me days to get one lick down, But he does some incredible. And that Amused to Death album, to me, that's my favorite playing from him. Just absolutely, I guess ethereal is the word for it, but great stuff.
Yeah.
But by the way, before we keep going, are there instrumentals out there that you absolutely cannot stand? Because I have one on the tip of my tongue, and I'll probably get ridiculed for this, but I fucking hate the song Moby Dick.
Oh, well, you don't like drum solos anyway, so that's
oh my god,
that's the thing there, that you hate drum solos. So.
The worst Led Zeppelin track ever, especially the live version.
I'm throwing stuff at Jack. Jack, I kind of know what you mean by drum solos, though. Some can do it, but I know. Don't like
Neil Peart's drum solos were always the best, though. That's the one guy that no one went to the bathroom, when he did them.
Jack did, evidently.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It feels so good to be back.
There you go. Look at you were even watching, so that's good. That's dedication. That's dedication.
Something had to happen.
So
what I missed? Skinner? You guys were talking about Skinner.
No, I had mentioned the Allman Brothers' Memory of Elizabeth Reed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Lou, I laid out a Porcupine Tree song.
I heard
you
that.
knew I was going to do that.
Yep.
I heard that. Yep.
This song, a guitar solo, and I have it on my list of greatest guitar solos. This is from 1971, Funkadelic. What the fuck, Jack? Like, you have these big build-ups like, so let me ask you before I say this, let me ask you that, but I do a little bit, and you start yawning. The fuck? By the way, I can smell your breath through the microphone, so take care of that.
The wine? What?
Yeah, no, Jack, not Mark. Funkadelic, Maggot Brain from 71.
You got me into that song.
Yeah.
Eddie Hazel. That's when he became a guitar god, man. I'll tell you what. Ranks is number 60 in Rolling Stone's top 100 greatest guitar solos. All right. You know what? Penalty box.
Yeah, but he's going to leave the show. Don't do that.
He did it.
He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. He looked right at me and he smiled as soon as he. You know what's going to happen? This is exactly how this is going to play out.
Get the tuna sandwich. Get the tuna sandwich.
No, I'm going to bring him back on. He's going to say good night, everybody, because he's at his hour. He's at his hour limit. I think he froze up. Actually,
he's checking his watch.
Look at this. Watch this. He's frozen.
You could do that yourself, You
can freeze
That's
it.
a great action shot. That's like should be in the program if we did a live show,
Well, Jack's an old man, so he has to kind of. I'm sure he won't be back. He won't be back.
You say that, and he will be.
Lou, give us a song.
Okay. The Lonely Bull, Herb Alpert. It's got vocals on it though. But I don't know. I mean, are we doing only?
Yeah, I think we set that. We set that bar early. Okay. Yeah,
well, I get another choice then.
Oh shit! I'm trying to scribble this stuff down here.
I got The Happy Organ by Dave Baby Cortez. Boom. I know
that. Yeah.
It's an oldie. It's got some ripping organ on it though.
All right.
And the Happy Organ was also in the soundtrack to Brokeback Mountain.
Lou has a theme tonight.
It was not.
Lou has established a theme. It was not. No, it wasn't.
It was not.
What do you got, Mark?
I got Pipeline. I don't know who did it, but you know that song.
No, was that the Ventures? Or
Stevie Ray Vaughan did a great cover of it.
Might be the Ventures.
I think that's an old surf.
Yeah, it's a Surface song, right? Yeah, that might be the Ventures. Or was it Dick Dale?
Good question.
Mark's the one with the laptop. He had the whole laptop thing going for a while. He was right on it. He'd be checking out. Yeah.
Wine does to you.
That's what the wine does to you. I got a song. I just don't know who does it. I'm ready for the podcast. I'm all ready.
There you go.
He looked at it. He goes, yeah, I'll just pass on this one.
It was the Ventures.
It was the Ventures. Yes.
You know, it's a surf instrumental I don't like. Apache.
What?
I can't.
Yeah, you know what?
Some people think it's a great. I'm like, I think it's
the Shadows, right? The Shadows.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the Shadows. To Apache. Okay. Yeah.
I mean,
it's kind of contrived.
I was at a gig one time. It was a jam, and the guy's like, Apache. I'm like, what Apache? I was like thinking like a tom boom, like a western.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were doing, and when they did play it, I'm like, what's a big fucking deal?
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, but it was on the radio.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hey, Perry's back.
There he is.
The AI
taking over the internet. Another one of my list. Yeah.
Sleepwalk. Santo and Johnny and Rumble. Santo and Johnny and Rumble by Link Ray. Yeah,
and that was in some Stephen King movie that was really eerie.
What's that? Sleepwalk.
They used that song in some movie with Stephen King.
Rumble's a good one.
It was Link
Ray.
Ray
just died, didn't he?
Maybe he did. He might have.
I think Link Ray might have. Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I did see the Rumble, that documentary about he was in that doc about the Native American musicians. Like, who's the guy that played with John Lennon?
Oh,
Perry.
Perry's going to kill us for not remembering.
Jesse A. Davis.
Yeah.
Let's see.
No, it was Link Ray and his Raymen. That was his band.
Rayman.
Oh, he died. Yeah, he died a while ago. Link Ray.
Link Ray did.
I saw something on him then. Yeah, I saw a documentary maybe about him.
Whatever happened to Santo and Johnny?
Oh, but I have a good one.
Swim with the fish.
Ms. Lou from 1962.
Yeah, man.
Dick Dale, the King. The King. You know, it's an old folk song from like the Eastern Mediterranean region.
Really?
Yeah, no one knows who wrote it. But it's been done in Arabic, Greek, Jewish, all these musicians.
Like it. I think it's yeah.
They've been playing it since the 20s.
Well, he's of Eastern European descent. He's not that. Dick Dale's his stage name,
right?
But he's like Croatian or something like that.
Let's see. It says I just pulled this up there. Arabic, belly dance, Albanian, Armenian, Serbian, Persian, Indian, and Turkish versions of the song. Song was popular from the 20s onwards in the Arab American, Armenian American, and Greek American communities who settled in the U.S. Song was a hit in 1946 for Jan August, an American pianist and xylophonist nicknamed the One-Man Piano Duet. It gained worldwide popularity, though, through Dick Dale's 1962 surf rock version. Yeah, it's pretty interesting, man. It was his version was influenced by an early Arabic folk version played with the oud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But his version is, that's the mic drop version.
Yeah.
But to think, how can you picture somebody playing that in like the 20s?
I could picture the folk variation too. It's just, there's more than one guitar in that song.
Yeah.
But those high trilly things, that's how they played, like, those instruments.
Yeah.
I think his secret too was really heavy gauge guitar strings. That's how we get that real thick.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that, probably a lot of reverb too, but
yeah, I like the reverb.
Yeah.
That's why I like that surf music.
Oh yeah.
So I like synthesizer and reverb in songs. It's kind of offbeat shit, I don't know. What do you got, Lou?
Okay, let's see. Another Rush song, La Villa Strangiata. That's on the Hemispheres record, I believe.
Yes, I learned that note for note when I was in high school. We all did.
All right. What album's that off
of? Hemispheres.
Hemispheres, okay.
It's in several parts too. There's more than one part. Rush did a lot of songs like that. I think on that record. Wait, now that might be the last song on the record. I think
It is.
and it's like in 6 different parts, whatever.
Yeah.
But,
And when they do it live, if you watch the Rush show, Alex would get weirder and weirder throughout the show. He would just get kooky. By the time they did that, there's one part of it where he would sing, and it was god awful, and just random words. Lurks is walking down the street, pissing in the gutter, and stuff like that. Like he would just go nuts, and he would just do one of these things, and he'd be like, "Whoa!" And then there's a home video where they actually put a censored thing over his mouth, and so you don't want to see this, you know.
But the studio version is an instrumental.
Excellent.
That's why I say Alex Lifeson's his best fucking vocals were Subdivision. Stick with that, Alex. Stick with that. You know what song I don't like? Speaking of that, Jack had mentioned, a song he didn't like. He doesn't like Moby Dick. Not a big fan anymore. I mean, it was a novelty song for a while, but Tequila by the Champs. Just
I get tired of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Also,
instrumental, classic, but it's kind of like, okay. It was fun when Pee Wee Herman did it. He brought it back, made it popular again, and did the tequila dance, and it was very original how they incorporated it into the movie, and you had a big resurgence, and whoever done it, but
it's had its day.
Yeah,
it's a song for stupid young kids to. Well, I was one of them.
Yeah.
Tequila.
Yeah.
Like a bar song. Now apparently Becker and Fagan from Steely Dan were in the Champs for a while. They didn't play on that song, but I think early on they toured with them. I think they were briefly in the Champs.
I think I knew that. Yeah.
Like Jane the Americans. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark, what do you got?
You guys remember in the 70s, the ABC's Wide World of Sports?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Yeah.
Well, fanfare for the common man, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. That was the
Oh
theme
shit,
song.
that's
Wow.
right. That's
Wow.
right.
And there's 2 versions. There's the single, which was 2 minutes, but if you got the album version, Emerson just goes off with his Yamaha, this big long solo, just jamming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good call. Isn't this coming up? There we go. Government Mule.
Yeah. It's my cuz.
There he is.
I passed by Warren Haynes Boulevard or Warren Haynes Lane or something recently. He's from the area, so I think he's from Leicester. That's a town part of Asheville. But I drove by in a delivery and I said, Warren Haynes Way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Local
Perry
boy
says CCR Rude Awakening.
Don't know it.
Wonder what album that's from.
There's a question mark after that.
Yeah. I don't know.
Are you not sure of the title? Or is it an instrumental?
Well, this guy Lou recommended us instrumental called Rebooting. What's that?
I have an instrumental. Remembrance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how about Deliverance?
You go.
That's a good one.
Dueling banjos.
Dueling
is an instrumental.
banjos. Right?
That was an off the cuff one.
That's a great instrument. I mean, who
It
doesn't
really
like
is.
that fucking song, right?
Really? What you want to mess with that river for?
Now, if you listen to the album version, there's a big build up at the beginning. It's not like the movie where they kind of go right into it.
Oh, okay.
There's a little bit of a build up to get to that part. It's like a minute and a half, I think, a minute of just trying to get there.
Who did that? Who did that version? Who were the players?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think there's a couple of names. I think it's 2 people.
Like someone in Suggs or something like that.
Maybe Flat and Scruggs or Flats and
see.
Sharps.
That's what I'm cooking tonight. Flattened Scruggs.
I thought you were making Welsh rarebit.
What the hell I'm making?
Let's see. Composition by Arthur Guitar Boogie Smith.
That's me.
The song was composed in '54 by Smith as a banjo instrumental called Feuding Banjos. It contained riffs from Smith, recorded in 1955, playing a 4-string plectrum banjo, and accompanied by 5-string bluegrass banjo player Don Reno. Yeah. So the composition's first wide-scale airing, was on a 1963 television episode of The Andy Griffith Show.
Wow.
Called Briscoe Declares for Aunt B. She was a hottie, wasn't she?
Oh, Andy.
She cooked like a motherfucker.
She could make that fried chicken.
I don't care how old and how fat she was. She could
make
like
you feel like a man.
She'd make you feel good.
Yeah, right.
I actually have a recipe for Aunt Bee's apple pie.
Really?
I do.
She had a
lard
oven.
Lard, fat, milk, whole milk, cream.
Now, the hillbilly band on Andy Griffith's show were the Dillards.
Yep. Yeah, so it says in which it's played by visiting musical family, the Darlings, portrayed by the Dillards.
Yep.
But in the show, they were called the Darlings.
Right.
A bluegrass group, along with Griffith himself, who he could play the guitar.
He was a damn good guitar player.
Yeah.
Yes, he was. Now, the Dillards, that was a guy, Doug Dillard, that did the album, The Fantastic Expedition of Dillard and Clark with Gene Clark of the Byrds, which is considered one of the, there you go, right there.
There it is. I kept it on my wall, Lou, after you recommended that.
A precursor to the big country rock movement.
Who was that?
That's one of my top 5 records.
We used to do a
who's that?
Music. Mark? That's Lou say.
Doug Dillard and Gene Clark. Gene Clark was one of the original Byrds. He wrote 8 Miles High, Feel a Whole Lot Better.
What we used to do on the show, we used to recommend an album to each other every week back in the day. And that's Lou turned me on Perry. So many albums I never heard.
All right.
Good album.
So in Deliverance, the film version was arranged and recorded by Eric Weisberg and Steve Mandel.
That's right, Eric Weisberg. Okay.
But only credited to Weisberg. Ooh, what happened there?
Oh, yeah. There's a story.
Yeah.
A Banjo Kid used to live around here, too.
You know that went to number 2 in the Hot 100, 73?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I got to say,
you like seeing Ned Beatty and his tidy whities, didn't you?
That was his first role, too. I mean, his first movie was yeah. But we're Northeastern boys, and that colored our perceptions of the South, did it not?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So when I
Jaws made us afraid of the ocean, and that made us afraid of the South.
Hell yeah. That's right. If you hear banjos, paddle faster.
Yeah.
When I moved down there, people were like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Come on."
All right, let's get one more in, Lou,
okay.
and then Mark. I'll let you finish up.
Oh, okay. So Frankenstein was taken.
Yeah.
This is bad. Can we name this tune?
Yeah. Is that Star Wars?
No, it's not.
Telstar?
Popcorn?
It's Popcorn by Hot Butter.
That's it.
What a stupid song.
Yeah.
That was a dumbass tone.
What about Telstar? Telstar was a good one.
Telstar was great.
Yeah, right.
I think that's an early synthesizer too.
Yeah. I love them synthesizers. Yeah.
There you go.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
For my last one, Too Much Rush. I got to throw another one of my favorite bands in there. I'm going to go with The Dance with Eternity by Dream Theater. There must be 20 different time signatures. Lou, you would listen to it as a drummer. You would appreciate it.
Probably not be able to play it.
No, only Mike Portnoy can play it. I don't think they've done it since he left the band.
I'm not that proggy.
It'll be on the playlist, so you'll be able to hear it.
Okay.
This will be a weird-ass playlist.
I'm going to finish it off with Tubular Bells.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we got a couple of movies in there, right?
Yeah.
Got Deliverance and The Exorcist in there at the end. Yeah.
And Mark and Perry discussed Totally Tubular Bells last Sunday on Music Relish show.
Perry had a lot of facts on how it was made, recording in that mansion, the manor. Richard Branson was his first release on Virgin Records.
I had the picture disc.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think I might still have it. I think I do. Yeah. It's a bell. It's like kind of distorted. But yeah, picture disc.
Can we give an honorable mention to Herb Alpert and the team?
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold on. This asshole. 2B5 Bells. What a moron.
No, what a maroon.
Jack.
What a maroon.
What a maroon. Jack. Yeah. You know what, Jack? Penalty box. I put his comment in the penalty box.
Good job, Jack.
Yeah. Okay. You're right with them. There you go. Me and you, Lou.
Nice. There you go. How about can we give it not to Herb Alpert?
Give it up to Herb Alpert. Yeah, he's got a lot of instrumentals, right?
I know you're a fan of.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a record. There we go. He's got a Magnum. He's got a Jeroboam of Yellowtail.
brought him in from the penalty box. Mark was slugging on a bottle of wine.
3-liter
Look,
bottle.
look, he's got one on the behind him too. Got a bottle of wine behind him.
what that
In the window,
Look,
yeah.
look.
Oh yeah, sure. What is it, Mark?
This is a limited edition gnarly head, not much of one, Grateful Dead edition of their Cabernet Sauvignon. And I bought it just because it's got Grateful Dead on it.
That's right.
Doesn't get cooler than that.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look
and
at
I
Jack.
just put Jack to sleep.
Yeah, look at Jack. His instrumental. Zzz.
That's YYZ.
YYZ.
All right, so let's jump into it now. Top 10 this week in 1996. I keep it in the 90s. Yeah. 96. Number 10 this week in 1996. Alanis Morissette, Ironic. Let me see.
I think Mark might have a black fly in his Chardonnay.
You know what? You know what the thing about that fucking song is? None of that shit is fucking ironic. It's all bad luck.
I'm clean, guys.
It's just shitty luck.
Yeah, it's just shitty luck. It's not fucking ironic. I don't know why she thought any of those things were ironic.
Made a good song.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
It's like, it's fucking, you win the lottery, then your fucking plane crashes. That's not fucking ironic.
It's just trash.
That's just shit fucking luck. Okay? All right? And meeting the man of his dreams and meeting his beautiful wife, right?
Jack hasn't left the show.
No, Jack hasn't left. Isn't it moronic? Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Gnarly head ripple. That is so good. I didn't even think of that.
Fucking heckler. You know what this is? This is like fucking Liam Gallagher heckling from the fucking balcony.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's what this is.
Yeah, but they're getting back together.
The Milk Crates brothers.
No, hey, listen, fucking Liam just he's headlining like Nebworth, I think, or something like that. The tickets they're gonna go on sale. They're gonna fucking sell out.
He couldn't headline a Nebworth in the United States, something of that magnitude, though.
But he
Don't forget, the last time he played, he did a free show in Central Park.
Yeah, and it rained.
Yeah, but
yeah. Oh, the Americans left, you said.
Yeah, all the British stayed. My son-in-law was there. Like, we're all there. We're loving it.
Yeah,
With what's his name? The other guy, I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he's not getting together with his brother. He's killing it on his own right now. He's killing it on his own.
Money.
Doesn't need it. He's making plenty of it right now. 4 number 1 albums over in England.
I thought Lou froze up again.
No. Jack's ripping it, man.
Scott loves the penal.
Boom. That's a big rim shot for that, man.
No pun intended.
He's cracking himself up over there.
Jack's in the small penile box, though. He gets put in the small penile box. His penile box is smaller than everybody else's. Let's see. Number 9 this week.
Grade?
Number 9 this week in 1996. SWV, Sisters with Voices. You're the One. Let's see. Number 8 this week in 1996. The Tony Rich Project. Nobody Knows. Oh, shit. Here we go. Number 7 this week in 1996. The theme from Mission Impossible by who?
Lalo Schifrin?
No. The theme from Mission Impossible.
Oh, the Tom Cruise movies.
Right? I think it was the original Mission Impossible with him, the first one. 96?
Yeah, maybe.
Adam Clayton and Larry Mullen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Emilio Estevez had like a 30-second part in that movie, and he got killed on the top of an elevator.
Really?
Remember that? Yeah, that was the
new one's coming out soon.
Good
The
movie.
next one. Number 5 this week in 1996, Celine Dion, Because You Loved Me. Number 4 this week in 1996, one of the queens of the 90s, Mariah Carey, Always Be My Baby. Number 3 this week in 1996, Tracy Chapman, Give Me One More Reason. Yeah. Whatever happened to her? I don't know.
Doing some kind of folk circuit somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably.
Number 2 this
show.
week in 1996, Tony Braxton, You're Making Me High, Let It
that song.
Flow.
I love that song.
Yeah. Then number one this week in 1996. Managed by, discovered by Eazy-E from NWA. Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Crossroads. Gonna meet me at the crossroads.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. Top 10 albums this week in 1996. Let's see. Number 10. Fairweather Johnson. Fairweather Johnson by Hootie and the Blowfish.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's an album name?
Yeah.
Was that the follow-up to Crack Rearview Mirror or whatever it was called? Wasn't that the first record or the
yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think that was the band that made me hate the 90s. They just,
Really?
Yeah, it was all fair weather music, you know.
Number 9 this week on the album charts in 1996. Too Short. Getting It. Album number 10.
Getting
It. Too Short. Number 8 this week in the album charts in 1996. Down on the Upside. Soundgarden. Number 7 this week in 1996 on the album charts. New Beginning by Tracy Chapman. You know what? You don't see any of the top 10 songs matched with top 10 albums.
Right.
I've noticed. Right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 6 this week in 1996 on the album charts. Legal Drug Money by the Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys.
Yeah. Number 5 this week on the album charts 1996. Celine Dion, Falling Into You. Number 4 this week on the album charts in 1996. Banana Wind by Jimmy Buffett. Oh, I got some serious thunder rolling in over here.
I hear it.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, another one. Here we go.
Don't open the door.
Let's see.
Big black hand comes in,
Wow.
grabs them, and pulls them out. Nice.
Can you hear the rain?
Yeah. That is a really good sound effect. You should record that.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep.
I'll just keep the door open. I don't care.
So you flood.
No. Yeah.
Number 3, who gives a shit,
Number
says...
3, I'm fucking flooding in here. Number 3 on the album charts this week in 1996. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. That was a good album.
That was a very good album.
It still is a good album, I should say.
It just wasn't ironic.
No.
It was a
here we go.
coincidence.
Wait. Saw some flashing. Number 2 this week in 1986 on the album charts. The Score by Mark.
I think I have it. Tell me.
Fugees.
Yeah.
And number 1 this week in 1996. I know you know this one. On the album charts in 1996. Load.
Pink Floyd.
No, Metallica.
Oh, shit.
Wow,
Yeah,
you fucked
the
that
album
one
with
up.
Seaman on the cover. Yeah, that was a great album cover. Hey. So I'm being offered tickets for their show in August. I don't want to go.
Really?
I just don't have it in me to see them. I don't know. Someone have free tickets at Giant Stadium, and I'm like, I don't know.
I'm not a stage unless you're near the stage and you can watch it. I wouldn't go see U2 down in Dolphin Stadium.
Yeah,
because it's a fucking stadium. Number 1, it's hot. Number 2,
yeah.
Fucking, if it's 80 out and you got 50,000, 30,000 people fucking body heat,
Oh,
that
the smell.
motherfucker's gonna be hot. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you something really quick. I saw the band
Really quick.
last week.
We're way ahead of schedule. I'm sorry, but
I saw the band last week that I will not say the name because I see him every year, and I saw him at Citi Field, the Mets Stadium. The Dead.
Grateful Dead. The Dead.
All right.
The
So
Dead.
when you go see a show, they got the hanging PA, like the big long hanging PAs, at the front of the stage. And the issue with baseball stadiums is they would always face one direction. So if you were in the wrong part of a baseball stadium, it sounded like shit. So they had this great idea. They have these little things on wheels that will hold that PA column, and they just angle them to every part of the stadium. So wherever you sat in the stadium, no echo. And I'll tell you, I sat very far away, sounded like I was right there. So if they do that for Metallica, I'd consider it, but
Right.
not into. I don't know. Not into Metallica anymore. I was,
Hey, what did you think of Saint Anger?
I actually liked it.
I fucking like that song, man.
The people that didn't
I saw
like
it on
it?
the documentary. Was it some kind of monster?
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it.
You know why?
I thought
Yeah, because there was no fucking guitar solos.
Not only
on
that,
the
it was all the
entire album.
fans. It was the fans of the Black Album that liked that really deep sounding metal. But those of us that knew Metallica in the 80s, it was raw, like the stuff we heard in the 80s. So I liked it. I had a,
Yeah. And again, not one guitar solo
right.
on any of the songs.
Wow.
Which people, evidently fans got a little irate with that.
How was he considered as far as heavy metal guitar players?
Kirk Hammett?
Yeah, what's Kirk Hammett standing?
He's got to be. He's a god.
Is he considered? Because I've heard people say, I've heard varying things about what they really think of him.
You know what? He doesn't play ultra fast. He's actually kind of, if you could say a heavy metal player could be tasty, it's him. He has some tasty stuff. He doesn't try to shred. He tries to play what's right for the song, and that's what I like about him.
Right.
Yeah.
What about Hetfield?
He's probably one of the better rhythm players, definitely. Yeah.
And that's another thing. Rhythm players don't really ever get the respect, do they?
No, they don't.
They really don't.
No.
As guitar players, okay, they're great rhythm, but they never get listed anywhere.
They think of themselves as strummers. Malcolm Young.
Yeah.
Rudolph Schenker from the Scorpions. They don't
Rudolph
get any.
Schenker,
Yeah.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you listen to some of his playing, it's like, it's rhythmic, but it's unusual. He had his own way of, it's because it's almost unnoticeable in a Beatles song, but he had his own way of doing things. And even when he played lead, that you can tell it was Lennon.
Yeah.
Like on the medley,
Mm-hmm.
He's the dirty guitar at the end of it.
Yeah.
Which is different. Chuck Mangione.
Chuck Mangione.
Feels so good.
What does that come? Where did that come from? What does that even mean? What is that relevant to? That
what about Come On, Feel the Noise?
Yeah, Come On, Feel the Noise. Okay, and he spelled "come" C-U-M. Oh, he's so funny.
Well, that's the way they spelled it on the song.
So funny.
No, that's being authentic. That's what
he spelled noise.
Single was. Yeah,
he spelled noise wrong.
Oh, yeah. That's what to do was a Z.
There was Z in it.
Yeah.
Number 3.
He's a maroon, I guess. Let's see. Okay, it's that time of the show, Mark.
Yay!
The stay in music. So, Jack, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Jack.
Maloika.
Bye-bye, Jack. On this day in 1959, Bobby Darin was at number 1 on the UK single charts with Dream Lover. Is that Mariah Carey redo that?
That's a different song. It's not the same.
You sure?
The American Singer's first UK number 1, which featured Neil Sedaka on piano, also reached number 2 in the U.S. On this day in 1968, Pink Floyd released their second album, A Saucer Full of Secrets. Both the last Pink Floyd album in which Syd Barrett would appear and the only studio album to which all 5 band members contributed. The album sleeve was designed by Hypnosis, a new company formed by the band's friends, Storm Thorgerson, whatever. They were paid £110 for the weapon.
Do you know about
back then was a lot of money.
Do you know about Hypnosis? They did most of the album covers that are iconic. Wish You Were
and they
Here.
spell it HIPGNOSIS.
Right.
Yeah.
They did Houses of the Holy. They did Into the Outdoor. They did all those great album covers.
It was produced by Norman Smith, who was a Beatle engineer on the early Beatles records. But do you remember this song? It went, I know, baby, I know, I could be so in love with you.
Yeah.
That's him.
Really?
He had these English dance hall hits. I learned that was one of Perry's little nuggets he threw on Music Relish. And so he had a novelty hit with like the English dance hall thing. It was like a big top 10 or top 5. But he produced the first, I think, 3 Pink Floyd albums. No, the first 4, he might have skipped one record, but he definitely produced 3 of the early records.
Look at Lou. Look at fucking at least once an episode.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Once every no. Thank you, Lou.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Is Mark frozen?
Hasn't he always been?
Yeah. On this day in 1969, Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, The Nice, John Mayall's Blues Breakers, 10 years after, Taste, the Liverpool scene, and Chicken Shack all appeared at the Bath Festival of Blues in England.
Chicken Shack.
The Taste.
Yeah,
That's Rory Gallagher's band.
with DJ John Peel, the Peel Sessions.
Well,
of the infamous Peel Sessions.
Wasn't Christine McVier perfect in Chicken Shack?
Yep.
But Fleetwood Mac played this show also.
Yeah.
Was she in the band then? What year was it?
No, she was with Chicken Shack.
She was
That's
with
actually
Chicken
where
Shack.
they kind of met her. If I read Mick Fleetwood's autobiography.
So
it
is
was
that also in
around
the Grateful Dead song?
Which
US
one?
Blues? Chicken Shack. Chicken Shack.
Yeah.
There's just a thought.
Throwing that out there.
Just a thought.
The festival proved very popular, selling out all 30,000 tickets in the first week, surprising both the townsfolk and the promoters. The only major problem, though, occurred when Nice's use of bagpipers caused the stage to collapse.
Not Keith Emerson's Hammond or Steinway piano, but the
The
bagpipers.
fucking bagpipers. You know how many bagpipers it must have taken? And what did that sound like? And I love the bagpipes, by the
Those
way.
things are heavy.
Probably a lot of fat bastards outside.
Jeez.
I wonder what song they were playing because I know all their songs.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But on this day in 1969, Henry Mancini started a 2-week run at #1 in the U.S. singles charts with Love Theme from Romeo and Juliet. On this day in 1975, American singer-songwriter Tim Buckley completed the last show of a tour in Dallas, Texas, playing a sold-out crowd of 1,800 people. This was Buckley's last ever show. He died the following day of a heroin and morphine overdose at age 28. Yeah.
Another one taken too soon.
Yep. On this day in 1975, Wings went to #1 in the UK chart with their 4th album, Venus and Mars. The follow-up to Band on the Run featured the US #1 single, Listen What the Man Said. On this day in 1975, also the Eagles started the 5-week run at #1 in the US album chart with their 4th studio album. Come on.
Desperado.
Nope.
Nope.
4th album.
Oh,
On the Border.
Yeah.
Nope.
Thank you.
One of these nights.
My
One of
favorite
these
album of
nights.
theirs.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
The album, which became their breakthrough album, released 3 U.S. top 10 singles, Lion Eyes, which won a Grammy, Take It to the Limit, and the title track, One of These Nights, which is probably my favorite Eagles song.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Yep.
And what's the clunker on that album? That's considered the clunker on One of These Nights.
The last song, the one he
Yeah.
wrote, Bernie Ledden wrote.
I Wish You Peace.
Yeah. Still a good song, but it's clunker.
Do they ever play it in concert?
No, Henley called it like lame cocktail jazz or something.
The throwaway song.
Yeah.
One of these nights is to me the for me in the 70s, that's a classic AM sounding song. Like I remember having my AM radio and hearing that. Doom, 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 boom. Yeah.
Yeah. On this day in 1980, you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
love
one.
thunderstorms.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I should live in Florida. Gets
Yeah,
me-
buddy, come on
Get
down.
them all,
Yeah.
get them all the time.
Come on down. Tom's leaving. You move in. Come on.
Yeah, right.
I've got bear everywhere. They're taking over the town. They're taking over Asheville. I think they should run for Asheville
Bears
city government.
everywhere.
They're not bears, Lou. They're old hippies that have just not shaved in a while.
No, it's Jack with his shirt off.
They're not hairy gay men. No.
Jack with his shirt off.
That's a lovely sweater you're wearing.
Where'd you buy that?
On this day in 1980, the Paul McCartney single Coming Up became one of the few live recordings to reach the top of the Billboard's Hot 100.
Wow.
American disc jockeys
Good
preferred it to the studio version on the flip side of the record. Interesting.
I like
a
the
lot of-
studio version.
I like the live version. A lot of energy.
Yeah, I like them both. You know who really
I
liked
like
that
them both.
song? John Lennon. Thought that was a great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this day in 1985, Sister Sledge were at #1 on the UK single charts with Frankie, the Sisters' only UK #1. Nile Rodgers from Chic, the great Nile Rodgers from Chic, produced the hit for the soul trio from Philadelphia. On this day in 1986, Wham! Were at #1 in the UK single charts with their 4th and final UK #1, The Edge of Heaven. Also on this day, Wham played their farewell concert in front of 72,000 fans at Wembley Stadium.
Wow.
Can't fucking argue with that.
No.
You can knock them all you want. Motherfuckers, 72,000 at Wembley.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Stadium.
Yeah. Yep.
I still wouldn't go.
On this day in 1997, Radiohead went to number 1 in the UK album chart with their third album, OK Computer. The British group's first self-produced album later appeared in many critics' lists as listener polls for the best album of the year, and also won a Grammy for best alternative music performance.
Did you like it when it came out?
Yeah.
I hated it. I couldn't get into it. 20 years later, I fell in love
That's
with
what it is.
I got
right?
it. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
On this day in 1997, Puff Daddy and Faith Evans started a 3-week run at number 1 in the UK single chart with I'll Be Missing You, released in memory of fellow Bad Boy record artist Notorious B.I.G., who was murdered on March 9th, 1997. The song sampled the melody of the Police hit Every Breath You Take. It also charted on the U.S. charts. And this is what I talked about a couple weeks ago when I was reading articles, and it was Puff Daddy and Sting had this thing. P. Diddy said something to the effect of, yeah, I pay $5,000 a day for that song.
Oh, you're right.
You know, and Sting corrected, and he goes, no, it's 10,000. And everyone's like, holy shit, you pay that much a year just because you used that song? And they made this big deal out of it. And then all of a sudden it was like, nah, we're just fucking around. We're actually friends.
That's
like
funny.
they're close, you know? So they played everybody. On this day in 1997, the Pink Floyd album, The Dark Side of the Moon, spent its 1,056th week on the U.S. album chart.
Wow.
It was rumored at the time. You play the album while watching The Wizard of Oz, da-da-da.
I did it. It's some moments, but it's not perfect, you know?
I thought it was pretty cool. I thought when he opens that fucking door and money comes on, right?
Yeah.
You know, or when the that part when you turn the volume, you get that's time, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Let me see. On this day in 2007, Benno Goldwich from Holland and Spaniard Alfredo Pensina Mateus were killed, and 2 other men were injured during an accident dismantling the stage after a Rolling Stones concert in Madrid. The 3 workers fell 10 meters, which is 33 feet, from a metal structure and landed on a 4th.
Oh.
The Stones were currently on the European leg of their A Bigger Bang World Tour.
Ouch.
That's too bad.
That's horrible.
On this day in 2007, the Spice Girls confirmed they would reform for a world tour to take place in December 2007 and January 2008 with the original lineup, who had not performed on stage since Ginger Spice, Jerry Halliwell, quit in May 1998. The 11 dates announced included a London show on December 15th, 8 days after the first date in Los Angeles. Other dates included Cologne, Madrid, Beijing, Hong Kong, Sydney, and Cape Town. The tour was being put together by Simon Fuller, whose 19 company masterminded the group's global success more than a decade ago.
I still say that first album had some really good pop songs. I'm sorry.
There you go. I mean, listen.
It was all produced. There was other people writing it, but there's some good songs on the album. Yeah.
All right. On this day in 2009, 3 days after his death, Michael Jackson was at number 1 in the UK album chart with number ones. The Essential Michael Jackson went to number 1 the following week for 7 weeks. Let me see. On this day in 2012, Lamb of God frontman Rudy Blythe was arrested before the band's scheduled show at Prague's Hard Rock Cage and charged with manslaughter. The incident from which Blythe was charged reportedly took place in 2010 at the band's show at Club Abaton in Prague. According to reports, a fan jumped on the stage where a tussle ensued in which the fan was injured. The fan later died, reportedly as a result of those injuries. What the fuck? That might be something to look up.
Yeah.
That sounds like an interesting story. Like, what the fuck? So, there's the infamous video of the Rolling Stones, back in like
Altamont.
79, and the dude jumps on the stage and he's running across the stage and he goes toward Keith Richards and he takes his guitar off and swings it at the dude and kind of hits him, but hits him on the side. The kid blocks it. Imagine if he just whacked that dude in the head with that fucking guitar.
Split it open.
Yeah.
Or how about when Pete Townsend, he hit Abby Hoffman at Woodstock. I don't know how he hit him, but I was like, he hit him with an SG. The guy didn't die. It supposedly hit him in the head. You know?
Oh, really? I think
because
I heard
Abby
that
comes
story,
up and
but I
he
don't
starts
remember.
saying something, and Keith hits him, and he goes, "Oh, I get it, but we got a gig to do." It's like,
Did he kick him in the ass too?
I don't know.
Who, Pete Townsend did that?
I think he kicked him in the ass too.
I'm gonna have to check
get him
that
off the
out.
stage.
Yeah.
I had someone to do that to me one time.
What? Kick you in the ass?
Yeah, well, I filled in for there was a band, a friend of mine, a guitar player. Their drummer went on vacation. They didn't want to lose the gig, so they asked me to sit in for a show with them. So I did, and eventually he was in the audience. I guess he came back from vacation, so it was a good gig. It was, I did the music well. So eventually, next time around, my band was playing. I was playing guitar. He was back on drums, and during our set, he got up on the stage and started walking, going, "Don't be afraid!" To my drummer, "Don't be afraid to hit that snare drum." He was like, he got jealous. He had this weird reaction. I was thinking I should do an Abby Hoffman, like a Pete Townsend on him. Just fucking kick him in the head, just get him off the stage. I should have, but I didn't do it.
Someone comes up and that's your turf, buddy.
That was my turf, man. We were playing a good gig, and I did his band a favor.
Yeah.
I didn't, but yeah.
Fucking drummers.
Yeah.
Guitarists are the cool people.
No, they're not.
Hey, you picking on me and Jack?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
On this day in 2013, Coldplay's 2011 headline appearance at the Glastonbury Pyramid Stage was voted the top Glastonbury moment by BBC radio listeners. Radiohead and Blur's 2009 Pyramid Stage appearance polled second and third, respectively, with Bruce Springsteen's performance of Thunder Road in 2009 coming in fourth. On this day, let me see, it was a sad day on this day in 2016. Scotty Moore, Elvis Presley's longtime guitarist, died at his home in Nashville at age 84. Yep. He formed the Starlight Wranglers with bassist Bill Black, and in 1954, Sun Records impresario Sam Phillips paired Moore with a teenaged Elvis Presley. Together, along with Black, they recorded Presley's first single, That's All Right, Mama. The recording session was only meant to be an audition. Instead, the trio made music history.
Yeah.
And finally, on this day in 2019, Ozzy and Sharon Osbourne ordered Donald Trump not to use the star's music for his political campaign.
Sharon!
Sharon!
We need more money.
The U.S. president, who was running for re-election in 2020, used Ozzy's 1980 hit Crazy Train in a video mocking his Democratic rivals.
Sharon!
That's true. Sharon Osbourne suggested Mr. Trump could ask some of his prominent supporters, such as Kid Rock and Ted Nugent, to supply him with music for his company. At least she was nice about it.
No, Sharon went like this.
I believe
Ozzy,
she's kind of conservative, by the way.
She went like this. Ozzy, let's look at the books. No, we need more money.
Yeah.
We need more money.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, nevertheless. Though.
Yeah, it's fun. It's hilarious. And finally, born on this day, no one important.
Really? Nobody.
Nobody.
June 28th.
There was like 10 people. I was like, no.
Not even one?
I was born on this
name
day.
you can throw out?
Guys, I was born on this day.
Today's not your birthday. is it?
Bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, what the fuck? I thought your birthday was recently, wasn't it?
It was last year. Don't worry about it.
Oh, last year. What, last June 28th was your birthday? Last year?
2 years ago.
June 5th, wasn't it? The 5th. Was it the 5th?
Was it the 5th? June 5th?
Close. It rhymes with fifth.
Fucking what rhymes with what?
Nothing rhymes with the 5th.
Nothing rhymes with
Sixth.
The 6th.
Sixth
Come
doesn't
on.
rhyme with
day off. I
fifth.
was a day
Fifth,
off.
sixth, fifth, sixth.
Oh,
See,
he's
I
got
can't
the
say
fucking,
it.
oh,
So
boy,
Mark,
he's got that
Mark,
fucking-
are you 55 yet? No.
I'm 54.
Hold on, guys. We got this shit done in under 2 hours. That's a
amazing.
fucking,
Wow.
look at that.
Yeah.
Because we got rid of Jack.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh.
That's why.
Was I in time?
Yeah, fine. You were fine. All right. Well, gentlemen, no show next week. I will be in St. Augustine for the 4th of July.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great place to be.
Nice. Have fun. Enjoy.
Yep. Gentlemen, as usual, my friends, thank you very much for your time.
Great having being on, and great to see Jack.
Yes. Always good to see Jack. Thanks for your input. Thanks for your knowledge, your information, your friendship. Thanks for it all, my guys, my friends, my guys.
You're welcome.
And thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, you like what you hear, share it. Share it with a friend. If you don't like it, well, thanks for listening this long. And to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, who, by the way, was it like back in 2015, 8 years ago last night, my wife and I, the good, beautiful Dr. Vera, went to see Morrissey with special guest Blondie. And at Madison Square Garden, great show.
Cool.
Great show. Blondie did not disappoint.
Nice.
They rocked it. Yeah.
Is it original lineup?
Yeah. They
Clem Burke on drums?
Yeah.
Yes. They got that lineup.
Yeah, they did. They did a great job. When they sang "The Tide Is High," they brought this local like street band. There had to be 40 of them, trombones, all in fucking just regular clothes. They just came marching up on stage and did "Tide Is High" with the band. It was fucking great. I got the video. I posted it yesterday on one of my Facebook pages. I got a bunch of them. Well, 2. But anyways, gentlemen, like I always say, doing this show for you, to quote my favorite artist, Morrissey, the pleasure, the privilege is mine, which is where I got that saying when he was doing, as he was ending his performance, he thanked Blondie. He said, well, I want to thank Blondie. They were grateful enough to do the show, and they thanked me, and, well, I have to say the pleasure, the privilege is mine. I thought that was pretty cool.
Cool.
That he acknowledged them like that. And that's it. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great 4th of July, gentlemen. Be safe.
Yep. Enjoy.
Yep. You guys got any plans? Any cookouts, barbecues, fireworks?
It's going to rain up here, so we get the indoor barbecue.
I'll be in Greenville, South Carolina.
Nice.
My girlfriend's place.
There you go.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Excellent.
Greenville's a cool city. I've been recently visiting it. It's a real city. Asheville is not a real city.
I know that.
they're starting to call it Trashville now, but hey,
oh shit!
I love it. It's getting a little wild here, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. See you in a couple weeks.